So I showed you guys this M17 or P320 from gellblastergun.com. So it's modeled after the SIG M17. And if you remember when I initially showed it to you, I showed you that I also got the upgrade kit with it. So this is the 11.1 volt upgrade kit. So you get an 11.1 volt battery. As you can see, it's a super tiny one since the battery has to fit in here. And there isn't a ton of room, but it actually fits in there. So that's great. You get a bigger spring. This is considered a 1.2 spring in the case of this blaster. And then you get some O-rings, obviously the charger. So I was afraid this was going to be a little difficult to do. You know, I'm not as familiar with electric pistols or pistols in general because the pistol gel blasters out there, there's not a lot of them. But this was actually fairly easy. So I'm going to tell you how to do it, and then we're going to go ahead and do it. And you'll see that it's pretty quick and easy. First off, they do have directions that come with the blaster itself that show you how to remove that top slide. So you do have those to reference there. However, it's fairly easy. So, you know, if you push the slide back, you can just pull the barrel out. So this is the barrel itself, right? And you can see that it's got that built-in hop up, right? It's kind of blurry there. But it's got that built-in hop up, and those are your three little points where you can go ahead and adjust that tongue, right? So that's kind of cool that it already has that built in. And I showed you when I used the 7.4 volt, the hop up seemed set pretty good. However, when I switched to 11.1, it was a little different. They were kind of floating a little different. Now, I also use different gel balls, so that could be the reason why that happened. So anyway, it's good to be able to adjust those. So you just pull the slide back slightly and you can just pull that out. So that's easy. So pull the slide back all the way, and there's this back piece, and that's what it talks about there. This back piece goes in right here, okay? And it's kind of hard to just grab. So what I took, because I have, you know, like this type of pliers where non-marring, and I didn't want to, I pulled the slide back and then I grabbed that piece and pulled it down and popped it out. Okay, so you need to do that. And then while it's pulled back all the way, you turn this piece like this. Okay, so typically this is like this. When it's pulled back all the way, you turn it like that. And if you look here, there'll be a spot right there. Okay, so you turn it all the way like that, you pull the trigger down and you push all the way forward. This will come right off. Now, I would try to just do it nice and carefully so that we don't, you know, you don't have to deal with putting this back together. So that's good to go. And then you can see right here, you can see your nice metal gears and you can see your spring is exposed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that spring off, put the new spring on. So that's really easy. Now for the O-ring, you've got this piece right here. You can just pull this off. Let's see if I can get it now. It's kind of oily. I might not be able to do it without, there we go. So you just kind of pop that off, and then we can replace it with the small O-ring, or with the, the better red O-ring. So this can go back in here. All right. You just want to make sure it goes back in properly, and it really will only let you put it back in properly so that those catch. There's two little notches that catch on the side there, so if you put it in upside down, it wouldn't work anyway. All right, now I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not 100% sure where this little O-ring goes, so I'm not going to bother putting it on since I'm not sure where it goes. And because I'm pretty happy with how easy this has been as it is, I do not want to do anything to mess anything else up. So now you should just be able to go ahead and kind of do everything in reverse here. Line this up, and then we should be able to go ahead and pull it back into place. It might be kind of hard to do on screen, so probably going to have to fiddle around with that. However, it really isn't that hard. It's just kind of hard to do when you're showing, of course. So that should just slide back on, you know, once you get it in everything lined up, which I think I'm going to just have to use two hands and not be on screen to do that. So you get that all lined back up, you slide it all the way back. This piece pushes back in, and you can push it back in by hand. I've already tried that. No issue there. And then all you're going to do is push this back in, and you're good to go. Hook up your 11.1 volt, get out there and shoot and see if you're at that 250 FPS, which is what they're hoping for. All right, so SIG M17/P320, jellblastergun.com. So far, it's been great. Hasn't been super picky about gels. Yeah, some have flown a little less straight, but it's not shredding them. I don't have to control grow them. Those are all awesome things with pistols because sometimes that is the case. All right, comments, questions, post them below. Like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly giveaways where you can win over $200 in custom blasters and accessories. And of course, there'll be a demo when it's upgraded like this, and we'll see what kind of differences we're getting on FPS. It was already in that 200 to 220 range, which was really good. So hopefully it's going to be bumped up to that 250. Thanks for your support.